Hello everyone, and welcome to our video lesson on Chapter 7, Percentages. Today we are going to explore how to solve a wide variety of problems using percentages. We'll start with the basics and gradually move to more complex situations, including percentage change, profit and loss, and discounts. Please have your notes ready. I'll be explaining the examples from your notes, and then we'll work through the let's try questions together. Let's get started. Okay, let's begin with section 7.1. The key idea here is understanding the relationship between a part and a whole. The formula we already come back to us is using the concept of part and whole. Part divided by whole times 100% give you the required percentage. And let's look at example 1. We have a school choir with 18 boys, 22 girls. We need a percentage of boys. The whole is the total number of students. So we add 18 and 22 to get 40. And the part is 18 boys. Now we apply the formula. So the required percentage is the part 18 divided by the whole number. Divided by how many? Should be this number, right? 40 times 100%. We calculate that, we get 45%. So 35% of choir are boys. Now let's try the first one together. Let's try one. In a pet shop, there are 8 dogs, 24 cats. We need the percentage of cats. You pause the video and try to solve it by yourself now. Okay, let's do it. The whole is the total number of animals. 8 dogs plus 24 cats equals equals 32. You add up these two numbers. This is the whole. The part is the number of cats, which is 24. So the percentage, the required, just write required percentage. You can write the whole word percentage, or just use this symbol, and write an equal sign. So put 24, the number of cats, divided by the whole, 32 times 100%, and this gives you the answer, 75%. Okay, why 75%? You can do simple cancellation here. 3 and 4, and then 25 here, right? So 3 times 25 is equal to 75%. Okay, so look at the example 2 now. We can find the part first. Okay, we have 35 students. 28 passed, so the number who failed is 35 students here minus 28 students. This will give you the number 7. So students who fail is 7. The percentage then will be the required percentage of failed students will be 7 who failed, and the whole is 35 times 100% always will give you the required percentage, 20%. Now it is a subtraction here to give the part 7 here. Now pause and then let's try 2 together. So Andy drank 210 ml from a 750 ml bottle. Okay, we need the percentage left. So first of all, find the amounts left. The amounts left you can write equals to the whole minus 210 give you the 540 ml. So the percentage left, the required percentage, or you can write percentage left equals how many? Would be the amount left divided by the whole times 100%. Alright, so it will be 72%. Got it correct? Well done. Continue with example 3. So now remember we have this formula, part equals to whole times the percentage. Okay, we also have part divided by whole time 100% equals to percentage, right? If we want to find the percentage, we do this. If you just want to find the part, we use this. Example 3. Okay. Sometimes you are given the whole and the percentage and asked to find the part. Okay, this is the formula we use here. 45% of 200 books are English. So the number of English book is how many? Amount of English book will be 200 times 45%, right? The number of English books, which is equal to 90. Just write rough words here. And for Chinese books, we can subtract 90 from 200, okay? So the rest are Chinese book, which is 90 subtract from 200 give you the number of Chinese book to be 110. Okay, how to write the presentation here? To write down the presentation, okay, first write down the number of students who failed the test. Oh, sorry, not. Wait a minute. We write down one number of English book. Okay, here will be 200 times 45% equals to 90. This is the number of English book, and then number of Chinese book will be 200 minus 90 give you 110. All right, let's try the right hand side. Okay, the question. %, of 540 schools are local. So local school will be the number of local school. Number of local school school will be 540 times 80%, which will be equal to 432. So international schools are the rest. And then in number, okay, how many international schools? Part B. Number of international school will be, okay, 540 minus 432 give you the 108, the answer. Or, of course, you can do, this is alternative. You can calculate the percentage left. Other than 80%, others are international schools. So international schools will be 20% of 540 school. So you can write times 20%. Also give you the 108. Got it? All right, let's move on. This question. Pause it and do it. Let's try 3.2. All right, this time, the time that Mr. Learn spends in the laboratory. Sorry. The time Mr. Learn spends in lab equals 40 times 30%. It will be equal to 12 hours. Write down a unit. And therefore, the time he spent in his office, time spent in his office, therefore is the time remaining. That is 40 minus 12 hour here. Minus 12 hour give you 28 hours. Always have a unit here. Okay, that's simple. Let's move on to example 4 here. Example 4. So this is a two-step problem. Okay, let's look at the question. First, find the number of female workers. Okay, number of female workers will be the whole, okay, times 70% of the whole. So this is the number of female worker. It will be 3,000 times 70%, and it will give you 2100 female worker here. And then 25% are part-time. So the female part-time worker will be this number. Continue to find the 25% of it. Okay, so 2100 times 25% is the part-time female worker. The number will be 525, right? So how to write down? These are the rough words only. So of course, you can write it in a one-step thing if you have the above concept. So you can write down all in one step. Let's try number of female worker. Okay, maybe you can write it more clearly. Part-time female workers, right, equals to the whole number is original 3,000 times 70%. And again, this number is the number of female workers only. In order to calculate the part-times, we need to multiply by a further 25%. So use this number. Actually, this bracket number will be up there, 2,100, okay? Times this number further, okay, by 25%. So in order to calculate this, you can, of course, change it into a fraction. If you don't have a calculator, it will be easier. Okay, cancel some zeros first. These 2 zeros cancel. So what remains is 3 times 7. 3 times 7 times 25. Okay, what is it? 525. All in one steps. Okay, that's the way to do it quick. Pause it and try the right hand side. Let's try 4. So the same thing, we need to calculate the number of boys who wear glasses. Okay, just write down what we are calculating. Number of boys who wear glasses equals what? Okay, number of boys first. Number of boys is the whole times 70%. And this number is the number of boys, the bracket here. And who wear glasses is 40% among all the boys. 40% of the boys wear glasses. So times a further 40%. And this will give you 224. If you calculate carefully, you can find this number, right? Alright, let's be quick. Move on to example 5. If I'm going too fast, you can, of course, pause the video and look at the question carefully if you want, okay? Every time. It's a bit longer. We have 2 types of apples with different percentages. So, okay, so step 1. Red apple sold. How many red apples sold here? Look at this chart, okay? We have 420 red apples, and the amount sold will be 40% of it. So I go a little bit faster, right? And you just use this number times 40, just like what we have done before. So you give you this 168 red apples sold. And then step 2, we need to calculate the green apples sold, right? So the same thing will give you 228 out of this number, okay? So the total, what is the total sold? This step 3 will be add up these 2 numbers. 168 add to 228 is the total number of fruits sold. In this case, this is the total number. Just add it up, and it would be a number 396. This is the total amount sold. And the percentage sold will be, okay, percentage sold will be, okay, 396 the amount sold, divide by the total number of fruits. Originally it would be 80, okay, times 100%, and it will give you the required percentage, this number. Okay, how to write it down properly? Okay, I need to teach you how to write down the whole things. Although we have this rough word here, but it cannot be written in like this in exam, of course. So the A part will be, you write down the number of apples sold. Okay, first of all, just number of apple sold by the supermarket, of course. You can skip the words. And then it would be, originally, you use this line of thinking, plus 380 times the percentage times 60%. Okay, write down number of apples sold, like here, 380 times 60, right? Plus this one multiplied by this one, and then give you the final answer. You can calculate slowly, but I skip the steps. The final answer should be 396, okay? And then part B, calculate the percentage of apple sold. Percentage of apple sold equals, okay, 396 divided by whole times 100%, and then this will be the final answer. Okay, so let's try question on the right hand side. Okay, do it by yourself. Again, so to calculate the number, okay, number of heart-shaped balloon equals to this, so times, sorry, times 75% plus, okay, all right in one steps. I think you can understand what I'm writing. Okay, so calculate the whole number will be 195, right? This is part A. Ask you about the number of heart-shaped balloons in the party, and the percentage of heart-shaped balloon will be, you can write required percentage, okay, for short, 195 divided by the whole, 300 times 100%, and it would be 65%. Okay, next question. So this time you see there's a key points here stating the same formula we use, but again, now we want to find the part. We need a little bit algebra here. Okay, so part would be the whole times the percentage. And again, we are using this formula most of the time. We can follow the steps below to find the value of the whole. If you want to find the whole, this time we just use this and then solve some equations, okay? And first of all, you use a letter to represent the unknown quantity, like what we have done in chapter 4. We let the whole to be x, and then after a certain step, you can find the x, right? So step 2, set up equations, and then step 3, write the answer. Okay, let's try example 6. Okay, 42 customers in restaurant are female. So how many customers in total in the restaurant? Okay, so the idea is we know 42, we know this 30%, but we want to find the whole. So actually you can, of course, if you're quick, you can just directly divide 42 by 30%, you can get the answer. But let's look at how to set up an equation for it. Let x be something, okay, be the total number, okay, use short form, of customers in the restaurant. Okay, and then the equation will be the total number of customers times 30% equal to 42, right? And this, how to solve this, always change the percent to a fraction first, okay? And then just follow the method for solving equation. So you multiply this 100 to the right hand side and then divide this 3 like this. Just invert it, okay? Because you multiply means here you divide the whole thing. If you divide the whole thing, then you make it upside down to change division to multiplication. And then you cancel zeros, and then 3 and then 42 here will be 14. And then 1, 4, add a 0 here is the x. Right? This is just level 1 question. So you write the conclusion properly, okay? Total number of customers is 140. So you write this line, let x, and then you write the equation, and then you solve it, and then you write the conclusion. So remember all these things in order to score full marks. These are the proper steps for solving equations. Now let's try 6 here. Pause it, think about it, and then do it. Okay, so let x again be the amount. Okay, I missed the dollar sign. Okay, you need to add this dollar sign. Be the amount of Tony's saving before, so long, before he buys the camera, okay? So it will be x times 30 2400 here, okay? And then it would be x. You can change the fraction, change the percent into fraction, or you can write division here. Of course, this step is no use unless you change it into fraction. So divide by 30%, just like this. And then simple calculation will give you the answer to be 8,000. And then Tony saving, therefore Tony's saving before is this amount. Alright, let's move on. Example 7. Okay, let's look at the question. But the percentage given isn't for the part we know. We know 120 patients, 50 are 50 or above. The group represents 60% of the total. So 60% of total N is 120, right? So how to write down the solution? Okay, let N patients are in the ward. Then write down N is the original whole number times 1 minus this time 40% equals to 120 here, and it would be just equal to this bracket. The number inside this bracket is 60, right? So 120 divided by 60%, and this is 120 times 60, okay, here, and then it would be N equals to 200. Okay, final answer is there are 200 patients in the ward. Right, now your turn, try this question 7. Okay, let N again be the total number of students. Okay, then N times 1, this time minus 10%, 36. So how to calculate N? N would be 36 times something. Just invert the bracket like this, and then N would be 40. And then the total number of students is 40. Okay. Okay, question 8. Okay, before question 8, we have this quick key point. Okay, you can look at this example, check it out. Comparing two quantities by percentage. And we have two quantities, 40 kg for Amy's weight. Henry's weight is 50 kg. We can find the percentage by which Henry's weight is more than Amy's weight using the following two methods. Okay, compare these two numbers. Express Henry's weight as a percentage of Amy's weight. You put Henry's weight up and Amy's weight down. Like this, Henry compare it with a percentage of Amy's. So put Amy's down. And then Henry's weight is 125% of Amy's weight. You compare two numbers. You see Henry is heavier than Amy. So this number, this percentage should be larger than 100%. Means Henry's weight is more than Amy's weight. And 25% more. 25%. Again, of course, method 2 is express the difference between weights of Henry's and Amy as a percentage of Amy's weight. And then find the required percentage as the difference first. This is the difference. And then you can calculate according to this formula, and you give you the 25%. means Henry's weight is 25% more than Amy's weight. Okay, so let's move on. How to calculate pocket money in this case? Compare two quantities. John's pocket money is 15% more than Anthony's. So if Anthony is 100%, John would be 115%. For part B, we know John's is 920. So Anthony's will be 800, right? Okay, how to write down? Since, okay, the weekly pocket money of John, weekly pocket money of John is 15% more than that of Anthony. Therefore, the weekly pocket money, just write in words, okay, of John is 100% plus 15. That is 115%, okay, of Anthony's. Therefore, the required percentage is 115%. Okay. And how to calculate the part B? If the weekly pocket money of John is $920, find the weekly pocket money of Anthony's. Okay, set up equations. Let X dollar be the weekly pocket money of Anthony, and then X multiplied by 115% equals to 920. And let's be quick, solve for X. Okay, 800. Think about it. You can write the steps by yourself. And then conclusion, the weekly pocket money of Anthony is, with a dollar sign, 800. Now your turn to calculate the next part here. Same thing. I think you can directly write down the monthly salary of Mary first, okay? The monthly salary of Mary equals to 100% plus 15%, just like before, equals to 115%. Therefore, the required percentage is 115%. Move on to B. Okay, this is the question. Part B here, okay. Set up equations. let X be the monthly salary of Ben. Equation will be X times 115% equals to 23000, and then the X by some steps, I skip it, 20000, and therefore the monthly salary of Ben is the amount. Right. So, one more question. And again, you pause it, you read it, and then just write down the solution. Let Maggie get X votes. X times 1 minus 36% equals to 16. Okay, again, by some method, you can, just write down this 25. Therefore, Maggie gets 25 wokes, and then the total number of wokes, total number, and therefore total number of votes in the election, of course. 16 plus 25 give you 41. Right? Example 9. Okay, 60 red marbles, 75 blue marbles. Find the percentage by which the number of red marbles is less than the number of blue marbles. Understand the question first. Okay, obviously we can calculate, we need to compare two numbers, red marbles and blue marbles. Okay, the number of red, okay, I skipped the marble, okay, divide by the number of blue equals to 60, 70 or 75, and then you multiply by 100%. You compare these two numbers first, give you 80. And therefore, automatically, you know the number of red marbles is 20% less than the blue marble. So write down the conclusion. The number of red marbles is 20% less than blue. Just write down blue, okay? Of course, you have alternative solution, but I don't bother to write. You just find this number 20%. Score you full mark. And then on the other hand, so by similar token, but now you put it upside down. Your number of blue, number of red equals to 75, 60, 125%, and then just write down the required percentage will be 25% is 25%. Okay. So in words, the number of blue marbles is 25% more than the number of red marbles. Okay, just try the right hand side. So daily wages of William divided by daily wages of David equals to 960 600 times 100%, give you the number 160%. And therefore William wages is 60% higher than David's. Okay, and then part B, invert the fraction. Daily wages of David divided by the daily wages of William. Just invert the number and then give you the 62.5% here. And then the conclusion will be David's wages is this amount, this percent lower, less than that of William. Okay, so you calculate all those numbers. Okay, so I think let's stop here for a while and I will continue in the next video.